Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day to any of you mothers out there. Got a question for everybody today. And I want to know when you think it's okay to intervene in a violent situation that doesn't concern you. When is it worth it? Do you trust the law to protect you when you're protecting somebody else? And what I mean by that is, you see somebody getting beat up, somebody getting hurt. I'm not talking about rescuing somebody that's just in distress. I'm talking about somebody that's getting attacked by somebody else. When do you take the risk? When is the risk worth the reward? Worth the risk of helping somebody else? Now, this is a question that makes you think about your morals, your values, all that good stuff. Now, for me, I like to help people. And if I seen somebody, well, we'll get to what I've done and how it didn't work out so well for me in the past. But you see, for me, there's two main things that are going to get me to intervene in a violent situation that doesn't concern me. One is if I see somebody beating on a woman or a child. Or two, I see somebody beating on a dog or hurting, torturing an animal. Those are the two things that are going to get me to slap the crap out of you. Automatically, hands down, no questions asked. Now, on the interesting side of things, and this is why I bring this up, and I'll get to why this relates in SHTF situations. My younger days, me and a buddy of mine seeing a teenage girl getting slapped around in a parking lot, to be exact. We intervened. As we're intervening, the girl that we were trying to help starts smacking me in the back of the head with her pocketbook. And then she's trying to jump my back and everything else. It's like, hey, this dude's smacking the shit out of you. I'm trying to help you here. When all's said and done, she goes and calls the cops on top of it. Now, luckily enough, and this is not luckily enough, I don't know what the proper wording is, but this young lady had some bruising on her face from this guy. The police came. Luckily enough for me and my friend, police backed us up. After a lot of questioning and everything else, and I had to get put in handcuffs and everything else just to get unhandcuffed and let go, so did my friend. And they ended up taking, I'm guessing it's her boyfriend would be, I doubt it was her husband. We'll say her boyfriend. No, he went to jail because the police department took it upon themselves to press charges. Now, what if they would have arrested me? Now, at the time, at that particular time, I wasn't married. I didn't have my daughter or a baby coming on the way or anything like that. But think about something. And I'm not saying not to help people. I just want everybody to think about this and how it relates to an SHTF situation. You step in to help somebody. You putting yourself at risk for somebody else, like a good human being would do. Next thing you know, your life is being jeopardized. You don't do your family very good if you're incarcerated behind bars for helping somebody else out, right? And like I said, I'm not saying not to help anybody out. I want to actually, at the end of this, I'm going to ask a question again, and I want to hear everybody's answers. So, that's something to think about. How does this relate to SHTF? Well, you see a group of innocent people being attacked by other people. Do you step in? Do you and your people step in and intervene? Do you step in and intervene? See, some of us, it's kind of implanted in our DNA. It's part of who we are. You want to help out. You can't let an innocent bystanders go on getting harmed and not try to do something to stop it. And that's a hard mindset to break, let me tell you. It's a hard mindset to break. To this day, I still would have intervened. To this day. still would have intervened, because I can't stomach watching any man beat up on a woman or child or a dog. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It's beating up on the innocent, and that's just not right. So let's get back to SHTF. Now, what do? Do you put your whole group's life at risk? Do you put your life at risk? What good are you to your family or your survival group? Let's say, either way, what good are you to other people if you're injured or killed? What kind of father am I to my kids if I gave my life up for something that might not have necessarily that I need to give my life up for? It's interesting. It's interesting to think about. There's a thin line of morals and values that you got to draw in the sand. When do you cross it? Now, it's interesting because, right, your values go both ways. You value your family, and you have the moral values of wanting to protect another human being. So those two can clash real quick. They can clash. If I help out, I could be putting my family's life at risk without me down the road if something happens to me. If I don't help out, then this innocent person is going to continue to get hurt. Really interesting stuff. I was thinking about this last night and this morning. You know, I mean, hey, what would you do? That's something I really like to know, guys. I want to hear everybody's responses and down below. Do you feel that you are obligated to help an innocent person? It doesn't have to be a woman or a child or an animal. It could be any situation. I'm just curious, what situations would you help out? What situations wouldn't you help out? And you could talk about SHTF, you could talk about regular modern day society. You know, are you worried about helping somebody out and the police coming and arresting you? I mean, a lot of times these days, at least where I am, if two grown men get into a fight, you know, usually the police arrest both of you for fighting or disorderly conduct or assault, depending on what they want to do. And they're just doing their job. That's their job. You know, it's illegal to be running around beating people up. So regardless of who started the fight, you know, you guys are going to get in trouble. But, you know, you could talk to me about defending somebody today. If you've seen three guys beating up one guy on the side of the road as you're driving by, would you stop and help him? Or would you say to yourself, man, those three guys could have weapons. They could turn around and then hurt me really bad, and then, you know, and then what? Then I get killed and I can't go home to my wife and kids. Then who's going to protect my wife and kids and my family? It's something to think about. Something I don't think a lot of people think about. And it's a tough question to ask yourself. Because if you're a decent person with good values, that's a hard line to figure out which side to be on in a situation like that. So leave me some comments below. Give me some answers to the questions. And maybe lay out a scenario for me that, you know, so I understand where you're coming from with it. I'm always interested to know, you know, and by the way, I don't judge nobody. If you're out there and you tell me, hey, listen, I would let a person get beat to death before I jeopardize my ability to protect my family's lives, there ain't nothing there. It doesn't make you a bad person. It means that part of you outweighs the other part, and that's okay. Because either way, your values are still there. I know some people are going to think I'm freaking crazy for saying that, but either way, I'm not saying to let people get hurt, but it's your values. You got to decide what is more valuable to you. Where is that risk going to put your family's life in jeopardy? Because for me, I'm made in a certain way. I have to help people. I'd have to help someone in that situation. However, if it meant putting myself in a position where I couldn't protect my own bloodline, I don't know if I would help. So sue me if you hate me for saying that, but, you know, it's a tough decision right there to think about, to make. So that's it for today. I'm glad to be back, glad to be able to make these Sunday videos again. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And bottom of my heart, you mothers out there, you guys carried us for 9 months, created all of us out there, and you guys deserve the utmost respect. So you have my respect. And happy Mother's Day again. Have a great whatever's left of your weekend, everybody. Let me know below what you think on this topic. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you on the next one.